Morning campers, welcome back to the woods. It's almost Christmas time. We've got 6 days till Christmas and it feels quite Christmassy today because it's nice and cold. Well, as cold as it gets here at this time of year. It's about 0 degrees centigrade at the moment, but there's no breeze. It's quite nice. I've got plenty of clothes on, nice and warm. Well, I'm going to light the fire like I usually do first thing, and I wanted to use a different technique today. And I actually saw this technique a few months ago with Lars from Survival Russia, and I've been meaning to try it, and I thought today was a good day for it. Basically, I'm going to light the fire with inner tube, and I'm going to light the inner tube with a ferrorod. And I didn't think this was possible until I saw Lars doing it. Basically, get your ferrorod, be very careful, take scrapings off it, make a nice little pile of scrapings, and then ignite your inner tube with the scrapings. Same as years ago, you'd use a magnesium block, but you do with your ferrorod. Well, I've got this ferrorod, and this is my, if you're not familiar with it, my multifunction ferrorod. It's a TBS jumbo rod. I've put a little screw in the end of it so I can keep material down. The handle is fat wood. That is jute sisal twine, and especially for two of my viewers and two guys I actually know, Pete Williams and Pete Next, who both said you really need a bigger striker, and Pete suggested one of these. Well, I actually had this striker at home and I've had it for years and years, and this is a Corona carbide tool sharpener. And these are absolutely brilliant strikers with a nice big rubber handle. Now this ferrorod is soft. Works okay, but it's going to be great for this particular fire lighting event. I'm going to reignite the mini Siberian fire lay. And so all I'm going to use is this and some of the splits from last week. I don't need very fine ones, because this stuff burns like hell. I've got to be very careful though not to light my bundle of tinder prematurely. This is also a good opportunity to square my ferrorod off. I just turned the camera off to make a few scrapings, and guess what happened? I lit them all. Start again. I am not getting much success with this. That was my 3rd attempt. Wouldn't rely on this technique. So we switch to plan B. Well, that's lit. I'm going to get my kettle on now, get a brew on, warm my hands up a bit. Not a technique I would rely on. I had 3 premature bursts of flame, which were no good, and when I actually did it, there wasn't enough scrapings there for it to go up. So not something I would rely on. When you think about it, if you just lit it with a lighter, it would have gone up easy peasy. No, not a technique for me. Sorry Lars, I won't be using that again. I've had my cup of tea, and like usual, when I have my cup of tea I start thinking, and I decided to expand on this a little bit. Now, I've got this ferrorod with me as well, and this is a pretty old one. I've had this some years. As you can see, it's pretty dished, and the handle is covered in tape because the bar is actually that big. I tried to take a few scrapings off this to do the same thing, but every 3rd scrape was a spark. This one is a no-go for making ferrocerium scrapings. Yes, no good at all. Is there another way to use this and light the inner tube? I'm wondering, if I cut a piece off, cut it really fine, will it light? Don't think it will, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. This bar, in the past, I have managed to light a bundle of twigs with this bar because I can go hell for leather with this and make a massive amount of sparks. I can't do that with the TBS one, it's just too soft. Give it a go. That worked. Thank you very much. Same time next week. Well, that definitely is a better ferrorod than the TBS. That's just too soft. That's a damn sight harder. This is probably about the same consistency as I light my fire, but I really don't mind taking loads off that because it's so big. I'm very pleased with that. New technique anyway. Well folks, just a short one today. I spent the last 3/4 of an hour attempting to make a wreath. Unfortunately, it's not particularly great, but I'm going to finish it off. The reason I was making a wreath is because today is a year to the day my father passed away, and I wanted to lay it on his grave. But it's not turned out very good, and I think he'd be turning in his grave if he saw how crap it was. Well, I'm going to finish it off, and I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully I'll get back before Christmas, because I got a week off work, but I got a lot to do. If I get back, great, I'll do a Christmas video, but I don't know, I'm not sure. If I don't see you before, have a great Christmas. Hopefully better than the last one where everybody didn't know whether they were coming or going. It's not much better this year, in this country anyway. But I'm sure we'll make the best of it. So if I don't see you before, have a great Christmas. Remember that thumbs up is always appreciated. I'm going to crack on with this. And unfortunately, I brought my splitting axe and my Boreal 21. I was going to cut loads of wood up. Just haven't had the time. Head hasn't been in it either, to be honest with you. Right, I'm off. And by the way, there's going to be some good bloopers. Pretty good ones. Ta-ra. Yeah, that's a bit I wouldn't do that again. Start that again. That was shit, because I'm going like a tit. Not a technique I would rely on. I had 3 premature ejaculations. No, start that again. Well, I suppose it proves a point. I think a harder rod is better than a softer rod. Yeah, I know what I've just said. Yeah, I'll put that on at the end. I think that proves a point. That a hard rod... Oh, fucking hell. I can go hell for leather with this and make a massive amount of... So this one is a no-go for making ferrocerium. Start that again. Now that I've finished it, it's turned out alright. So I think I will take it. Ta-ra.